Steve Evans, first of all, after Saturday, you say we don't lose, we learn. What are the key things you learned from the weekend?
Yeah, I think it's a great statement. Since I've come across it, we don't draw, we don't lose, we don't win, we learn. And we learned lots from Saturday. The overriding thing, of course, we learned is that if we make big errors as individuals or collectively as a team, we'll concede. And if you concede goals, it's harder to win games. It's a fairly obvious statement. But, I spoke about Big Sween's contribution with their 3 goals, but there was errors leading up to Sween's having the opportunity to do his job. So there was errors in front of that and errors from him. And that's not like us as a team. So we learnt that for lots. And we learnt also when we're in the ascendancy, we're 1-0 up. We're getting great areas. I'm sure we'll touch on it. We scored a perfectly good goal. We should have a red card for an opponent player. And we don't want that. We don't want it in the game, but it's mandatory red. So there's a number of factors that we've learned from. But, we've learned that we've lost a game. We should have won that game. And somewhere along the road, we're going to have to make up for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games you can't get too down upon, because on another day, some of those shots that goalkeeper doesn't save and some of those decisions go our way. So it's...
Yeah, listen, first and foremost, we've played against a fierce opponent. Mark Hughes arrived at Bradford City with real good owners, real good chief exec, and I've said it many times, I get plenty of stick from them, but they're a fantastic fan base, fantastic, the best arguably outside the Premier League, they're the best. And but I think a lot of them will know, speaking to Matt Derbyshire and speaking to Jamie O'Connor, who's both scored against us, both played for me, both good players. But Bradford City is a huge club with big resources putting the team together. That's why Mark is going in there. So if we'll take anything, we'll take the comments and we'll take the scenes at the end as what it meant to beat us. So that tells us we've come a long way from where we were, but it also tells us we have a long way to go. But we get beat by a real good opponent who I thought at the start of the season, I've never doubted it since, that they'll be a top 3 side. They should be a top 3 side. The resources are in the top 3. They should be. And they've got an excellent manager with good players and a great support. So they've got the recipe to beat us. But, we felt a little bit disappointed on Saturday with some of the things that went against us. But we didn't do enough of our own job and our own responsibilities to go. So we won't get too down. The boys have come in this morning. You've come in the training ground. We keep the ambience the same here. Win, lose, or draw, it has to be consistent approach that we're focused and professional.
And a quick turnaround for Newport tomorrow night. Chance to set things right.
Yeah, I know a lot about Newport. I know a lot about the players. I certainly know a lot about the manager, Graham. I think I was one of the referees behind Graham getting that roll down there. Brilliant decision by the board at Newport and the director of football. Good guy. But they've gone away to Barrow. That's as tough as anywhere in League Two to go to. And they had to ride the luck at times, but they got a break. Man sent off late for Barrow and they get the goal. But it was their overall play, how hard they work, the attention to detail that they have, makes it a real difficult game for us. But anyone going to Newport, could be us, could be any top 6, anybody. Anyone going to Newport on a Tuesday or Saturday is a tough game.
We've seen this season that more often than not, when we have a negative result, the likelihood is we then have a positive the following week. Is that something to do with the mentality of players that they just want to get?
So I'm so proud of them. We have a fantastic group. You should have seen our dressing room. We lost for the first team, and I don't know how many on Saturday in a league fixture. There was devastation in our dressing room on Saturday, and that tells you've got yourselves to a level where we almost forgot what it's like to get beat. If you take away the cup tie, it's still we've forgot what it's like to get beat, and when you get beat, you become more humble, you become more responsive. And we've had a fantastic training session this morning. The boys wanted to stay out. Thank God, what a beautiful day. We thank the man above for sending us days like this in the middle of February. But the boys have wanted to train a little bit longer today. We've done that. We'll be fresh tomorrow. We've got players that thought might have been a bit tired. They're bouncing around this morning. They want to play. And they want to try and get another point or 3. What we know is every point away from home is really tough to get. Every win is even harder. But our objective to go there tomorrow night is to go and get 3. If we come up the road and we've added to our points tally, it'll have been a good day. Where we'll have let ourselves down and have to learn from was the home games. You have to have a fortress at home if you want to be successful in the league. So we learn from the home game, and if we can go and get something away from home, that's a bonus before we take another one on a real tough place at Stockport on Saturday.
there's certainly positives to take from a result like Saturday's in terms of just regrouping and re-grounding yourself to kind of not get ahead of yourself, but evaluate where you are.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, I think when you've been over the courses many times as I have in terms of promotion teams, that's the last thing you do is get ahead of yourself. We are very focused on one game at a time. What we know is how many games we've got left. We know what every other team's got left in terms of games. We've all got to play each other. Look at some teams now in sparkling form that were really struggling early doors. We're looking at Doncaster, sparkling when it's winded. You're looking at Colchester, sparkling 1-0 win away from home. You're looking at Gillingham, lost at Mansfield, but had a real good second half and have been in great form. So there's teams that were not doing it. Newport's another example. Weren't doing it out of the season. Now they're flying. There's so much football and so much points to be won for everyone on Saturday. I think it'd still be a Leyton Orient runaway. I still say it. I've said it for a long time. And I think there'll be a group of 7 or 8 clubs behind that who are fighting for the couple of automatic promotion places. And then there'll be as there always is, a scramble, probably 2 or 3 missing out in the playoffs. That's what always happens. But there is no one in the top 10, top 11. How can you discount Walsall? You know, they were stunning. I watched their performance against Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient brilliant second half, but Walsall so good in the first half on Saturday. So we can't even discount them. So lower than even 10th or 11th has still got a chance of being in this promotion race. Fantastic for the EFL. They've got so many pluses. They've got so many minuses, haven't we? But I think they've got it in the Premier League. Referee decisions, VAR decisions. I think I went home disappointed on Saturday when I've had a couple of telephone calls this morning from the people in charge of the referees, but I would also like to see some of the decisions being reviewed with VAR and not being allowed like Saturday. That would make it a double whammy.
And just in terms of your squad, obviously Jake Reeves missed out and Luther Wilder was forced off early. Are they back in training this morning or how was
Yeah, Luther has a chance. It was an impact. Reevesy's the weekend, we think. TVC the weekend. So that's on the positive side. So we're in a, go forward 5 to 10 days. If we get nothing in between, we'll have a full squad almost to pick from, apart from the 2 longer term ones in terms of Tay and in terms of Elliott. And we're in a good shape. We're very focused. We know what we need to do. We need to go and get something on the board tomorrow. And if we don't, we'll go to Stockport, try and get something on the board. Very focused, one game at a time. We're all playing each other. I said before Saturday, before Bradford, I said after Bradford, sorry, not before Bradford. I said after Bradford, if you'd have said to me there's X games left in the league, we've gone past Valentine's Day, we're on Valentine's Day, we're second to the table, we've got games in hand to close the gap. Actually, games in hand to go top, but we've got games in hand to close the gap. They're tough. Would we have taken that back in March when I walked in the door on Paddy's Day? St Patrick's Day. Would we have my grandson's birthday? He'd be second birthday, young Joseph. But would we have taken that, Alfie? Speaking to our chairman yesterday. Our chairman was so enthused yesterday. He was as down as I was about Saturday's result, not Saturday's performance, because in spells we played better than what we played against Leyton Orient. We beat the league leaders 3-0. We played better on Saturday, but we didn't make mistakes against Leyton Orient. And the difference is you make mistakes, get punished. Don't make mistakes, you win. So let's not make mistakes tomorrow and let's win, but it'll be really tough. And we look forward to going to see a good Banner Grey and we'll share a beer, a glass of wine, whatever Graham's getting afterwards.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.